Hey everyone, Nick here, and this video is all about how to price your compensation packages for your sales representatives. Now, you may have noticed I'm not with my normal camera setup, and I'm in Washington right now. But the reason I'm shooting this video in this format is because we just recently hired a new sales rep. Her name is Lisa in the agency, and we're paying her based on a commission-only compensation package. And so once I announced that to our community, everybody wanted to know what it was, what we were paying, why we were paying that much, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm shooting this video just, impromptu and off the cuff so that you can have the information that you need to hire a salesperson, but also pay them in a way that makes sense for you and your business. So not only am I going to explain what we're paying Lisa in the compensation only package, but why I structure my commission models based off of your business's current revenue. So whatever your agency is at, that really is the best way to indicate how you should pay your salespeople, because you have two things that you need to factor in whenever you're bringing somebody in to do sales for your agency. Number one, you want to bring somebody in so that they make more money in your agency, right? They're trying to be a driver of revenue in your business, or that's what you want them to be. And then on the other hand, you have to give them the opportunity to make money as a salesperson, right? And so those two things need to be kind of teetering on a balancing act, and they need to work in both ways. So for an agency, and some of you may have, experience in sales and have other models at work, and there are other models that, can do different things. In reality, I like to have, as a small business owner, I like to have a conversation with the sales rep themselves and figure out what's important to them. You might find a salesperson that just wants a strong base. They just want to know that they're going to make 5K every month, no matter what. And so for that reason, you can just pay them a base. You might find somebody that is a more aggressive shark type person that wants to get commissions and have higher commissions because they're going to get after it and be really solid in doing lead gen and finding more clients. And in that reason, you wouldn't pay them as high of a base. You just give them a more aggressive commission structure. So those are reasons why you set up a unique structure for your individual sales reps. But for those of you that are just getting started, some of you that already have some traction, just hear me out and hear about how I do this, because I do believe this is a great way to structure it for the agency model. So I structure the comp packages off of your agency revenue. So for example, if your revenue right now is at $20,000 per month or less, I recommend giving people a fixed fee per sale, which should be based around the customer lifetime value. So for example, if you just sold a $1,500 website, right, and your customer is going to stay a projected 6 months, maybe you sold them on a 6 month, $1,500 contract, then over the 6 months, that customer is going to be worth $9,000. Or maybe you didn't even sell them on a contract, but that people stick with you for at least 6 months most of the time. Well, if they stay for 6 months and you make $9,000 total, 10% of that would be $900. So in month one, we would give a 60% commission to our salesperson. They would make $900 if they brought in somebody that is going to pay us $1,500 a month. Now, some of you might be saying like, whoa, that's a lot of money. Well, it is, but you have to look at it from the lifetime value of the customer, because if you give me the opportunity to pay $900 to make $9,000 over 6 months, I'm going to take that deal every single time. So you have to set your salespeople up so that they're incentivized, right? They want to bring in somebody because they're going to get $900 for every person they bring in. That's a nice chunk of change, and you're going to give that up on the front end so that you can make 9,000 in the future. And sure, you might have some margins if you're not fulfilling the SEO work yourself or whatever it is you're selling, but 10% over the 6 months lifetime value is a good deal. So that's if you're 20 grand or less, I recommend you give a fixed fee per sale. And you could also, you can just give a flat fee. It doesn't really have to be a percentage of the lifetime value. You could say, look, for any new person that you bring in, I'm going to give you $300 flat fee. Doesn't matter if they're a $3,000 website or $1,000 website or a $500 a month package. I'm just going to give you a flat fee. So that's one way you can do it. This is the link to the actual comp structure that we gave Lisa. So I will break that down after I go through these other two revenue strategies. So moving up, if your revenue is more than 60,000 per month, we usually just give up a percentage of whatever we collect in month one. Because if you're making 60K a month, you clearly know how to get more customers at this level, right? You should be getting X amount of customers per month, and you should already know that's how many you're getting. And it's pretty repeatable. It's predictable, which is important for a salesperson because it means that you're going to give them enough opportunities to make enough sales to make a good living. So if you gave a percentage up front to somebody, if you're only making 20K a month, that would mean that they're only going to get, 2 or 3 or 4 customers per month that they're actually just going to get that small percentage on. So I recommend giving the fixed fee for the lower levels, but as you get higher, you get a percentage of the upfront because they know you're going to have a handful of customers that are going to come in each month and they're going to make a good living because you've already done that in the past and you're already doing that now. So hopefully by now you can see the difference of, paying the fixed fee in the lower model, just a flat fee of $300 per client by factoring that in by way of lifetime value versus giving a percentage of the upfront sale because you know how to get more customers predictably for your business and you already have them coming in. So moving up, if your revenue is at 100K a month per or more, I just give them the pure percentage, right? We'll give you a percentage and a bonus. So, if you sell, 10 deals at $1,500 a month, you're going to get the commission, but you're also going to get an extra kicker, which is, $1,000 for every 10 sales you make. So there's even more ways for them to get money because you're giving them plenty of leads, plenty of opportunities, and you're finding additional ways to incentivize what they have going on. And so 100K a month is a lot of revenue. My agency isn't doing 100K a month in revenue right now. It probably will one day. I like the flexibility I have at around the 50K per month mark. It really requires very little work on my end to maintain that agency business. I do reckon that the agency will scale to 100K per month in the model we have just by virtue of having good systems, having new salespeople out there doing what we're doing. But I do have another business that is making a few 100K a month where we have aggressive salespeople getting aggressive sales commissions. So I can tell you all this information that I'm giving you based off of experience in the best way to set your people up to be priced accordingly. So here is and now that I've broken all that down, those 3 things, I'm going to give you the commission only structure that we gave Lisa. So this is all just the job description. I'm not going to go over this. You're going to have access to this. You can use it for yourself. But basically, this is how we price it out for her. So I gave her this package because I had a conversation with her and asked her what is important to her. And so for her right now, her time is very limited. She needs a flexible schedule. She's not available to be like always working and making calls, but she's still a very good salesperson. So, my opportunity for her is like, look, I'll give you this type of fixed fee plan, this commission structure, and you can just send us sales whenever you want. It's not a lot of work on my end and it's not a lot of work on your end. You can just do what you want. You're not really part of the company. You're just kind of a commission person only out there, and you can make money if you refer us business, and you get to kind of decide your own level of involvement. And so I chose this deal based off of the person, not because of the revenue that we're making, and you can make that decision on your own. So basically the way I set this up for her is fixed fee based off of lifetime value of the customer. So let's use an example for search engine optimization. Basically, I'm giving her 35% of the first month on a 3-month contract. So if she sells a 3-month contract, she's going to get $350. So all of our SEO plans, they start at $1,000 a month. So I know if somebody signs up for a 3-month contract, which by the way, we sell very little of these. I don't think I've ever sold a 3-month SEO contract. The only reason is in there is because in case it happens. Usually it's 6 months to 12 months to, over a year. But in the event of her selling a 3-month contract, she's going to get paid $350 upfront in month 1 based off of the 35%. Because I know if somebody's going to stay for 3 months, we're going to make $3,000. It's worth it to me to give her $350 as a one-time payment. And hopefully after the first 3 months, they continue to stay, right? That lifetime value is there. So let's move down. The second contract we have is a 6-month contract. So the projected lifetime value in the $1,000 a month example is, if somebody stays for 6 months, we're going to make $6,000. So we're going to give her 100% of the first month. We're going to give her $1,000 so that we can make 5, 6 total, but 5 if you minus what we're paying her to acquire that customer. So we're gonna give her 100% of month one, but we're gonna break it up into 2 payments. So yes, she's gonna get $1,000, but we're gonna break it up into 2 monthly payments of $500. And the reason that we do that is because as a small business, we're splitting the risk. If we just gave her $1,000 in the month one, well, we still have to pay our team to fulfill that. We still have to get backlinks. We still have to get content. And I don't personally like going in the hole each month to pay out sales or ads. I like to be at least in like a break even or in a profit. And so she's still going to get paid, but we split the risk in that I make 2 payments for that commission. So again, first month of a 6-month contract that she sells, if it's $1,000, she's going to get 100% of that broken up into 2 monthly payments, $500 a pop. And so let's move over to the 12-month contract model, where if she sells a 12-month contract for, again, $1,000 for easy numbers, we're going to give her 150% of the first month, because we know we're going to make $12,000 off of this contract, and we're only going to have to give her $1,500 up front. So you can see it is very appealing for her to bring in a client and sell them a 12-month contract. We're going to give her $1,500 or we're going to give her $1,000. We're going to give her $1,500 because we're going to give her 150%. We're going to give her $1,500 to help us find that one customer. All she has to do is find the customer for us. We're going to give her $1,500. And obviously, we're going to make the rest of the lifetime value of the customer. So, we're going to break that payment because we don't want to be in the hole over 2 payments as well. So $750 a month. And that means for the first 2 months, the company's going to be at about a break even in terms of fulfilling that work for an SEO. I'm just going off of SEO, what our margins are, which is about 70%. The company's going to be around a break even, maybe a little bit in the hole in the first 2 months. But for the next 10 months, we're going to be sitting pretty good, because somebody's going to be out there finding new customers and bringing them in, and we don't even have to pay anything to actually do that after month 2. So imagine what your business would be like if you had a salesperson out there doing that type of thing for you. And so this model, these 3 things, you can apply that to what we have for PPC. You can apply it to what we have for the monthly websites. And if you're doing other recurring services, you can break it up in that way too, just by paying a fixed fee. And then if it's a huge fixed fee, then you can break it up into payment intervals so that you're not, you don't have all this risk. So that's pretty much it. I hope you got some value out of this. I hope this gives you some ideas to go out there, get some salespeople, structure some deals that work for you and your business, and don't use the stuff other people are telling you to do because it works for their business and yours is running completely different and your income levels are completely different. So why would you be paying somebody a huge aggressive percentage commission-based structure because some guru told you to, when that's not going to work for your business model? So don't listen to them. Listen to me. Listen to the model that is going to work for you, where you can select something that works for your unique and specific situation. So I hope you got something out of this. If you did, I don't know, go to the Facebook group. Let me know how valuable this type of training is. Let other people know. I'd really appreciate it. That's it. I'll talk to you soon.